Welcome to lecture 1 on the course Circuit Theory, that is E202. My name is Amol Rahulkar from NIT Goa. So before going into the details of this course, in this class we will discuss the objectives of the course and what will be the contents of the course that we will be going to study. So let me write the objectives of the course. So our first objective will be to understand the circuit elements of LPFLB network, and let me tell you what is this LPFLB. In this we'll be going to study the network which will consist of the lumped kind of network, that is L stands for lump, consists of passive, the network should be passive, the network should be finite, should be linear, and the network should be bilateral. Okay, so in this course what we will restrict our discussion we will restrict in the network which will consist of or which will satisfy this 5 properties. Now next we will have the analysis. Next objective will be to analyze the DC and AC circuits, and that analysis we will do using various theorems and various methods. So theorems mostly will include the Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, etc. And we will do the analysis using various methods, that is in time domain analysis and frequency domain analysis. Then next, once we will be comfortable with the analysis of circuit, then next what we'll do, we'll see or to do the elementary synthesis. Okay, so with this what we'll do, we will use the fundamental mathematics to express the physical underlying phenomena which will be in LPFLB network, so that we can analyze and synthesize the given network or the circuit. Okay, so in order to achieve these objectives, now next we will have the look on the contents of the course. So we will start our course with the introduction or with the familiarization of the circuit elements. So familiarize the circuit elements, which will be CKT will be the short form for the circuit, all right, and which will be resistor, inductor, capacitors. Again we will just have a look on voltage source, current source, and we will just have a review on basic laws, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law, Kirchhoff's current law, and Ohm's law also. Then what we'll do, once we know all these components, then next our task will be to study that how to do the mathematical modeling. So this is our next task, is to do the mathematical modeling. So we'll see how to do the mathematical modeling. So in general, and this mathematical modeling of the special kind of network that will be going to restrict in our course, which will satisfy these 5 properties, that is LPF, LB. So when we will do the mathematical modeling of this network, what we will observe that in general the network, this kind of network may consist of the circuit with only resistive elements, or the network may consist of the inductors, capacitors in addition with resistors. Okay, so when the network will consist of the resistive kind of elements, then once we will do the mathematical modeling, what will be in general equations, the form of the equations will be like this. That is why, suppose I am assuming that the voltage across the resistor, which will be equal to some constant into current for one branch, A2 x2 of t something for second branch, like this. Okay, and if the same LPF LB network will consist of, say, the elements which will be inductor, capacitor or resistor, then the form which we will be getting will be in the form of integral and differential equation. So let me write the form which will be voltage, maybe suppose it is RLC circuit, so I can write y is equal to A1 something d2 x1 of t by dt square plus A2 dx1 of t by dt plus A3 x1 of t, like this. Okay, to understand, suppose I have a circuit which consists of only resistors, this inductor and let's say capacitor. Okay, and to this network, suppose I am giving the excitation as V of t, say this is R, L and C, and suppose I of t is flowing through this or through all the elements. So let me use the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So V of t will be equal to R into I of t. So let me do the mathematical modeling for this. So how can we do? Either using KVL and KCL. So let me apply KVL here. So V of t will be equal to R I of t plus L di by dt plus 1 over C, that will be integral of I of t dt. So just look at this case. If the network consists of L and C, that is called energy storage elements, then what kind of form I will get it? The equations will be in the form of differential and integral form. Okay, so this combined equation I can name it as integro differential equation. Okay, so with this what we come to know, that if I would like to do the modeling of this LPF LB, there are two ways. One way will be, if the network consists of only resistors, then the form, in general form, will be like this, and if the network consists of energy storage elements, then I will get integral differential equation. But it is difficult to solve integral differential equations, so we can differentiate on both sides so that this integral term will be removed, and I can use the solution of linear differential equation to solve such kind of equations. Okay, that will come to this point. Now what next? Suppose now we have a model, then we have to solve the equations, or we have to do the analysis, or we have to find out the solution, or we have to find out the response. So in order to find out the response, what I have to do, basically I have to go for two ways. One way will be your time domain analysis. Okay, so time domain analysis, it involves the solution of this differential equation, and next analysis I have to do the frequency domain analysis. And in this frequency domain analysis, what we can use the tool called Laplace transform, which will be used to solve the integral differential equation, and Fourier transform. With it I will be able to know the frequency contents or the behavior in terms of spectrum. Okay, so now now we know these tools to solve the equations, but when we will be applying these tools, we have to check it out whether that network, whether it is linear non-linear, time variant, time invariant, stable or unstable. Because this solution of let me write solution of differential equation or linear differential equation will be only applicable when the network is linear, and Laplace and Fourier, these tools also will be convenient for the linear kind of networks. Okay, so in general, how can we categorize the network or the system? Suppose I have to do the mathematical modeling. So once I have done the mathematical modeling, then the network may consist of registers and may consist of energy storage elements. So I will write R, L and C. Now if the network consists of register, then that kind of network is called static network or memoryless network. And if the network consists of resistors, inductors and capacitors, then that kind of network will be your dynamic network or memory network. Okay. Now once I know this static network, I know how to solve using the solution of simultaneous equations, or I can use the Cramer's rule to solve it. And if it is a dynamic, then I have to go for the solution of linear differential equations, or again the Laplace transform approach. Okay. So for that I have to check it out whether again that network is linear or non-linear. So I have to identify whether network is a linear or whether network is a non-linear. Also here I have to identify whether network will be linear or whether network will be non-linear. Then once I decided, okay, suppose network is linear, then also again I have to check it out whether your network will be time invariant or time variant. Okay, what is time invariant? Time, let me write using Ti as a time invariant and Tv as a time variant. So time invariant is that network where the parameters, what are the parameters of this network, R, L or C. If the parameters are not changing, or if the values of the parameters are not changing with respect to time, then that kind of network will be your time invariant network. Okay, so parameters means what? Suppose I am buying resistors or inductor or capacitor today, and if I'll check what are the values after 1 year also, it will remain same. So that kind of parameter consist of, with this, the network which will be constituted will be time invariant. But whereas time variant will be what? Where the parameters will be going to change with respect to time. Okay, for example, suppose I have the variable resistor here, okay, and that I am varying with mass spring system like this. If I attach, and if I'll make it up and move up and down, what will happen? The value of R will be going to change. So in this situation, your network will not be time invariant, but it will be time variant network. Okay, now once I have decided, okay, the network is a linear time invariant, then also I have to decide whether network is stable or unstable, and that also we will do using the tools, that is using Laplace transform also. So stable is that the behavior of the network will be according to our expectation, then that kind of network will be stable, and if not according to our expectation, then it will be unstable. So with this categorization, here in this course what we'll be going to study, we'll be going to study this link, that is what network is given to you. We will write the mathematical equation. Now we have to solve it. To check it, in order to solve, we have to check whether static or dynamic. If it is static, use the Cramer's rule and by checking the linear network. If it is a dynamic, then I have to check it out for the linearity. I mean, here also we will study this link. Okay, the network will be dynamic, linear, time invariant, and stable and unstable. That thing we have to do it. And this network in this course will not be going to study the non-linear and time variant kind of networks. Okay, so with this, what we'll do now, once we have decided the circuit is your linear and time invariant, then we know the tools to do the analysis, that is using the time domain analysis or frequency domain analysis. Okay, so it will be frequency domain analysis. I will use TDA and FDA. Okay, so we will do it the analysis either using time domain or frequency domain. So now we have to study to do the analysis, and this can be done, to do the analysis means I have to find out the solution of these equations. Okay, so there will be some pros and cons with the two methods. So first what we'll do, we'll try to analyze it using the time domain analysis, that is using solution of differential equation. Okay, and then we will be able to know what are the pros and cons with the time domain analysis and why it is necessary to go into frequency domain analysis, that is the Laplace transform. Okay, so now we can solve the equation using time domain analysis, frequency domain analysis, and we are solving means what, we are finding out the response. Okay, so if I am talking about the response, so generally response will be divided into two types. One will be your transient response, and second what I have to find out, I have to find out the steady state response. Okay, so what is the transient response and what is the steady state response, that we'll be going to study. Okay, so this we have to do using both the time domain analysis as well as frequency domain analysis. Sinusoidal will get it the thing later on. Now if I am talking about the response, basically there are the three responses we will be going to study in this course. One will be your impulse response, second will be your step response, and third will be the sinusoidal response. Okay, so what is impulse response? Basically is that we will be going to study when the network, suppose this is my network, to this I have to find out the response, that is the response of the network if the excitation to the network is impulse function. What is impulse function, that also I will introduce you in short. Similarly, what is step response? It is the output of the response. Mind you, the response will be the network should be LTI, that is linear time invariant. So step response will be the output of response when the input to the network will be step function. Similarly, the sinusoidal will be response will be the output of the network when the input will be sinusoidal input. Now let me tell you why we have to study these three kind of responses, that is impulse response, step response and sinusoidal response. The reason being is that because these responses can be act as a basis for the rest of the analysis, and this can be acted for the rest of analysis for arbitrary input which will result in arbitrary output. So suppose the network has been given to you, and to this arbitrary the input has been applied. Now I would like to know what is the output of it. So it is very difficult. So what can be done? If I know how to find out the impulse response, then I can approximate, because I can approximate any kind of arbitrary input with the help of impulse input using this like this, and we know impulse is how. Okay, so with this, if I know the impulse response for this point, then what I will do, I will find out the impulse response for this magnitude and the time shift, and if I'll add it, ultimately I'll be able to know the response for the any arbitrary input. Okay, so this kind of thing we have to study. Now once we are familiar with this, then next we will be going to study the two-port network. Okay, so two-port network, there will be number of parameters, that is open circuit parameter, short circuit parameter, hybrid parameter, G parameter, transmission parameter, etc. Then once we will cover this, then we will have I'll introduce you the concept of graph theory. Okay, and we will see why graph theory can be useful to solve the circuits. I mean, why? Because if the circuit will be very complicated, then your nodal analysis or mesh analysis may not be that effective to find out the solution. So for that, graph theory can be used to solve the complicated problems. That's why we will have the discussion on the graph theory, and we will see using the tie set approach how can we find out the element branch or branch current and voltages, as well as using cut set method also. Okay, then at last we will cover the elementary synthesis part. Okay. And if time permit, we will again go it into little depth. Okay. So these are the contents. We have to finish it, or we have to look, or we have to study in this particular course. And for that, the books which is to be referred according to me are, first is Hayat, Kimberly, I don't remember the initial, but okay, Kimberly, and Durbin, and the topic of the book is, I am writing short form as engineering circuit analysis, and the publisher is Tata McGraw-Hill. The next is also very good book, that is M.E. Van Valkenburg, and the title of the book is Network Analysis. Okay, and the publisher is PHI. Third book is Franklin Q or FFQ, and the title is Network Analysis and Synthesis. And the publisher is Wille. Okay, so these three books are enough for this course. Okay, now next what we will just have the introduction on the two terms, that is 2 or 3 terms, that is circuit, network analysis and synthesis. Basically what we'll be going to do, we will have in this course we will study the two aspects of circuit theory. One will be your analysis and second will be synthesis. So let us start with the term circuits and network. What is the meaning of circuit and network? So basically circuit is starting from, if I am starting from one point, go somewhere else and reach to that point, then that kind of thing is called circuit. Whereas in network, we will start from somewhere, go somewhere, but not necessarily reach to the same point, then that is your network. So basically circuit is a closed path, okay, whereas network may consist of closed as well as open path. And in circuit, what will happen, the current is intended to flow through all elements, whereas in network current not necessarily flow through all the elements. So basically network is a more generalized term and circuit is a special term of the network. Okay. For example, if let me see the network, or let me draw this, consists of one resistor, this is suppose one more resistor and one more resistor, and again I'll connect one more branch here. Let us take it, this voltage source of 10 volt, randomly I am putting the numbers. Now I have to identify which is circuit and which is network. So if I am starting from this point, going here, from that going here, and returning to the same point, so this is your circuit. Again, if I am starting from this, going here, going here, going here, reaching, so this is also circuit. But if I am starting from it, going here, but not going anywhere, so here, because of the infinite resistance, so this whole is a network, but the circuit is a special kind of it. Okay, so circuits, all circuits are the network, but all networks are not the necessarily circuits. So basically circuits will be the basic building blocks of the network. Okay, so overall circuit or network is an interconnection of the different components of the various components in order to act together to achieve certain objective. Okay. So in this course, as already we declared, we will have the two aspects of this theory. One is analysis and second is synthesis. So let me tell you in short what is analysis and what is synthesis. Okay, so in order to do the analysis, let me first give example with generalized term, then we will see this word analysis with circuit perspective. Okay, so suppose I have a system, or I have let's say one system called TEA, that is tea, everybody we will be drinking. Now if I would like to analyze of this tea, then what is to be done? For some tea, generally what is the thing? Taste is important. Now I would like to analyze, some taste is there, I would like to analyze how this taste has been achieved. So how this can be done? If I have a tool by which if I will be able to find out the amount of the detailed component present in it. So suppose tea, if it is, so what are the detailed component? Maybe sugar, tea powder, then there may be milk, and there will be, for example, water. So if I will be able to find out the sugar quantity, that is x1 amount of sugar, x2 amount of tea powder, say x3 amount of milk, and x4 amount of water, means what? I have to find out the values of that x1, x2, x4, and if I am doing that, then it means that I have done the analysis. It means that I have found out the detailed components in it. Okay, so same way in circuit perspective, what we have to do, we have to find out the particular branch current or particular branch voltage. Okay, so if in analysis means if I have to find out the details. Detail means amount of the signal, and amount of signal in terms of circuit will be either voltage or current or power, you can say. Okay, so to find out is nothing but the analysis. And synthesis will be what? If I would like to prepare the tea, then what I should do, I should have some components to add it, suppose sugar, milk, water, and again tea powder. So if it has been asked me to prepare the tea, so what I will do, I will take x1 amount of sugar, x2 amount of milk, x3 amount of water, and x4 amount of tea powder, and if I'll add together, I may get one tea. But if I have been asked you to prepare the tea, so it is not necessary that you will use all the components, you will add one more component, say ginger, and you can prepare, or you will add the honey here and you can prepare, that is also tea. Okay, so it means what? If I would like to do the analysis, your x1, x2, x3, x4 will be fixed for this particular test. Means what? Analysis will be having the unique solution. But if I would like to do the synthesis, then there are the different ways to prepare the tea. Okay, so in terms of solution, there may be infinite number of solutions for the synthesis, and out of that optimum kind of synthesis we have to accept to do the synthesis. Okay, so synthesis is a little bit difficult than that of analysis, I can say. Okay, so for doing this analysis and synthesis with circuit perspective, what I need basically three components. One will be your black box, and that black box I will call the network, and basically 2 port only will be studying here. So there will be two types of terminals called input terminals, and it will be your output terminal. Okay, and what is the use of input terminal? We have to supply some energy to the network. And what is the use of output terminal? It will connect to load, and that energy will be given to load so that it will act. Okay, so from input terminal generally energy can be delivered to loads or energy source can be connected, and from output terminal what will happen, your load will be connected where the power will be dissipated or power can be used to do something. Okay, so if I would like to do the analysis, then what I must have to know, I must know what is my network and what is my input, so that I will be able to find out the output for that particular terminal. Okay, and if I would like to do the analysis, then what I should know what is the input and output, and I would like to obtain what will be my actual network to get it such kind of representation, that is in the form of input terminal and output terminal. So this is the way. For example, problem of analysis is that if that is what the problem of analysis, that if excitation and networks are given, we have to find out the response. And problem of synthesis is excitation and response. I mean, an input will be acting as excitation, I can call it as excitation, and output will be your response. Okay, so analysis will have always the unique value, so unique solution, and the synthesis will not be unique. You can get different solution from different people, and then you have to find out the optimum, or you have to select the best one. Okay, fine. Okay, so or suppose I have the RLC or RC circuit. Okay, so suppose this is R and C, and to that some V of t is given to you. So I would like to find out the response of V of t, means what? I have to find out what is the voltage across capacitor, then that is your analysis. And suppose voltage across capacitor is given to you and input is given to you, you have to design what is your RC network. Okay, so these are the things we have to study in this course. Okay, so with this we stop here. We'll continue from the next class. Thank you very much.